Hello, everyone. As you can see, I'm lacking in chinsulation and even some fuzz on my head. But, I haven't had the fuzz on me in years. Let's be real about that. I am the fuzz! Or something like that, Not actually, though. I'm not particularly interested in being a police officer. And I did it. I was a security guard once. I did it for a summer. And downtown, the bars, because the bars, and this is a university town here in London, were a big deal, especially amongst, I'd say, like pre-social media times, right? That's where you went to meet people. If you didn't have any particular hobbies that for which women seem to enjoy, that was your option. Your options were basically between work, maybe the gym, so again, a hobby, and the bars. Those were your three options to get some action. Your school could also be if you're in both at the same time. So say the work and school at the same time. So this is what I'm setting up here. I just watched the video. For what is it? Code of Misconduct that had to do with the trial of the World Juniors, the hockey team, the Canadian junior hockey team, and when they were here in London on whatever occasion it was. I think it was the award ceremony, and they came for a golfing tournament. They stayed at Delta London Armories and this whole thing, and then they went down to Jack's. Now Jack's has been as a bar has been around for a very long time, and it was one of the modern bars here in town. And like Richmond Row, that's where people did their bar crawls, right? You went basically from Oxford and Richmond all the way down to what's it? Let's look at a map here. Maps, okay. Down to Horton Street, basically. Yeah, that's right. So, and then all along Dundas as well. There's some other places that would spill over. All right, basically this block from right out to Wellington, well, actually further, I'd say to like Colburn, all the way up to Oxford, is like party city. Like that's the downtown core, right? And then there's some offshoots. Considering all things considered, say close to UWO campus, and then it used to be Fleming Drive near Fanshawe College, and drinking culture was a thing because drinking alcohol is a status symbol, and London, Ontario, well, this is the home of Labatt's Brewery, right? So it's like this patriotic thing and this noble thing. You're contributing to the local economy. Knock those blues back, right? And at the time, everyone was just trying to have a good time. Let's be real about this. So you got a pre-internet culture, a pre-social media culture in which the proliferation of propaganda was much slower, right? It's much slower. So that also means the proliferation and propagation of misinformation was much slower. And so people, in their attitudes of previous generations that did not exist in in a world that we understand as it is now. So the phrases, or the common thing that boomers say is like, oh, you guys have no idea what we got away with. And I'm glad we didn't have the internet in our day because of that. Well, that's incriminating now, isn't it? That really makes me question you a little bit. What have you been up to, man? Like, this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, you think that the most trustworthy person is worthy of admiration, but this is why some people take it upon themselves to go after Boy Scouts. Is because they think that they cover the tracks so well, and this is the paranoia. This is the problem. The paranoia, and then so I've talked about this, to exhaustion in different videos within the history of propaganda. I've only made 800 and fucking 50 of them. So. This really goes to show that we're not as smart as we think we are, and we're not willing to listen to certain people because we think they lack credibility, and that's one of the failings of this. Like, I'm having a cigarette here, right? Just imagine that I'm having a cigarette, and that's one of the failings of law enforcement. Again, is that you can only act upon the information that for which you have, and of course criminals take advantage of this, right? The people that we call sociopaths, or like career I don't want to call them criminals, career they have the ability to work around the system, right? That's the thing. So I don't have a word for it. I'm like, they're the cunning, and cunning is they're very cunning. That's more or less what I'm getting on, because I was just my brother-in-law was like, oh, I'm very creative or something like that, and that's what, of course, English is his second language. He was trying to remember, because he's a jokester. He says he likes to joke around, he likes to play pranks on people or whatever. And practical jokes were a thing that was in fashion, so there's this, again, this attitude, or again, this ignorance. The blinders are being put on some of these people. They're making rookie moves because they think that the older generation is stupid. But quite frankly, you gotta remember that these professionals were working without the internet. They didn't have quick access to information within 30 seconds or less. Okay. This is a big deal. This is the culture shift that happened. And again, the culture shift happens away from catering to straight people, and you had segregation. I'm not even drinking this right now. I just wanted to. You had this segregation. You had gay bars and you had straight bars. So everybody knew what was going on, right? Everybody knew as soon as you entered those doors that there's unwritten rules, right? This is the secondary source of information, or what these critics would call the culture. In other words, again, you're going to be. Everybody knows, and it is told to our children, or even within cultures of people that they bring up their children, allowing them to drink before the age of representation, right? So if you can see above the bar, you can drink because of heritage. Again, we lose our attachment to traditions through the years, or at least the reason why we do things from their origin to their contemporary place within society. And like, why are we still doing this? Why are we still doing that, et cetera, et cetera. But you know, most of the time it's because, well, the internet didn't exist, so you had to have some sort of shared experience within a group of people, and so that's what brings about initiation rites, hazing, or even bullying. Right? Okay, let's try and get this person to let's see if they can respond. Or they will respond, but the mistake of the extrovert in power is exactly that. Is to okay, so let's torture someone, or let's tease and prod someone until they start standing up for themselves. But you know, the proof is in the pudding. You know, if you keep torturing someone, they just fold, right? Oh, I don't want to be with that person because they're a wussy, or they're a sissy, or they're a pussy. They won't do the thing, right? Because you know, here's the truth, okay? Is that little girls are just as bad, if not worse, when it comes to bullying, and same with teenage girls, than little boys are, or teenage boys. Let's be real about this, right? And then, of course, there's this expectation of young men being able to pick up on the signals that for which the women in their sexual development tease each other and make fun of each other, as so to sort out a dominance hierarchy amongst them of fertility and sexual power. Because in reality, before all of this upheaval, right, all of this, oh, we're going to change things, we're going to try and make things more accessible and more open and more inclusive, so that, you know, this what the social Marxism, the attempt to level the playing field for all players, but the truth is, you know, not everyone's a hockey player, okay? Let's be real about this. Not everyone likes to play baseball. Not everyone wants to sit through an 8-hour trial about a bunch of cockamamie bullshit. Or 8 years, eight days. Whatever time was wasted. Again, since this is about the documentary, you know, on code of misconduct, this is not directed at the victim or the accused, right, for which were acquitted. And as the woman says, I don't remember her name, acquittal is not innocence. It's not innocence. It means that the court could not prove that you were guilty. But we can't take it upon ourselves, thereafter the fact, to exercise extrajudicial punishments. But again, through the education system, because we have to tell people about drinking culture, because we're bringing in cultures that don't drink. Or we're trying to open things up because, you know, 20 years from now, we put too many contaminants into the environment, and our kids are fucked up. They're so fucked up that they can't exist without the psychiatric or medications. They don't know how to flirt anymore. So what we're going to do instead is import thousands and millions and millions of people to take care of us when we're in the old folks' home. Meanwhile, we screwed everyone along the way. What I'm getting at here is that, you know, there's two sides to the coin, right? There's the argument that's presented with the evidence, and then there's the argument that's presented on first witness accounts. And what's the wisdom? Is the first? eyewitness accounts are notoriously, as I was, I was watching something, I don't remember what this came from, are notoriously unreliable. It's like trying to get a hold of people's phone records. Anyways, so especially amongst teenagers, and there's this thing, again, this narrative, right, that these kids are removed from their homes by choice, right? But they're extracted from their communities and their homes, like 16 years old or whatever it is, to become, they go to hockey camps and they participate in junior hockey or OHL or whatever it is. And the difference is okay, so there's shop talk, and then there's smack talk, and then there's actually doing it. Okay? So in those precious years in which young men are trying to figure out what is a good relationship, again, outside trying to differentiate and establish their own identities, disassociated from their parents. And that's where the problems start to happen, is because of peer pressure, bullying, or this mob mentality. Again, it's up to the individual. It's up to the individual. If a person, or it's all about the education. I don't think so. I don't think it's about the education. I think you can educate a serial killer to be a child care worker, and he'd probably do a great job at it. Oh my Jesus. Oh my Lord. Bless your heart. Nonetheless, okay. Again, these people in power 25 years ago were panicking. They were losing their shit. Okay, but the consequences of this great era of change, right? Let's be honest about that, in which all of humanity was not able to process the secondary consequences of flipping that switch and giving everybody DSL, and then all of a sudden everybody's got, oh, that's leak, that's a leak, whoopsie, didn't secure that properly. So what it really comes down to is again the psychology and how people think, and a person's psyche is constructed through the years, and their identity is constructed through the years, from their shared experiences and the internal narrative of a person. So that voice in your head that you're thinking, and it's just a certain language. That some people don't get all the right information, or some people get too much information. What I'm saying here is that the person decides who they are. Because every time that we, as it has been shown throughout all of history and all of scientific study, the more that you can find someone, like any other animal, the more they rebel, right? So, like, there was this idea that if we integrate, well, there's two sides of this, and I'll bring this all together as to how the hell this fucking relates to a sexual assault case with some hockey players that happens. In 2018, so what, 8 years ago? I know this is all really schizoid, and I'm just talking out of my ass here, and I've probably lost most of the people watching this anyway by 20 minutes. Um, so, you know, thanks for sticking around. Consider yourself one of the smartest people in the world. What was really, you know, they had this idea. Again, okay, so maybe we got too many people. We're creating too much pollution, and so we need to reduce the population. So let's pull this lever and start encouraging people to have homosexual relationships. Everybody's doped up on these psychiatric medications that have secondary side effects, including sexual dysfunction, and then because we don't want retarded and mentally ill people reproducing and so on and so forth. And then there's this other part. Oh, we gotta integrate them. We gotta integrate the gay people into the rest of society, so that the lynching stops. We're gonna desegregate things. We're gonna allow them to. We're gonna support them. We're gonna bring them to the forefront of the culture. It's okay to be gay and all that other shit. And then we're gonna help out the intersex people by bringing them out into the open. We're gonna bring the disabled out into the open, and let them just be normal people, because that's what they want and that's what society wants. And I have control of society, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a champion for all of these things, because I hate being bullied and so on and so forth. So especially as a victim of bullying, but I didn't have any self-confidence because I had problems with controlling my anger or something like that. That's a single mindset of one person, and as I'm just, you know, pulling from observing other people in my life. So it's predictable. It's fucking predictable. I gotta tell you. You have this introduction of these sexually immature people, because personally that's how I view homosexuality, is that they're sexually immature. And they have not fully developed to the point for which they can have a mature heterosexual relationship. You don't like it? Too bad. The simplest solution, the most simplistic explanation is most likely to be the correct one. All right. So what they started doing is, as soon as they became educated, and they were weaponized. These young people that went to college and decided, okay, so there's something we need to reestablish a hierarchy, a dominance, or sorry, a new. We have to establish a new kind of society to differentiate ourselves from the British monarchy, and to establish Canada as this champion of human rights and so on and so forth, into this grotesque circus based on false information. But that's the reality of it, right? The grand lie is that we are created equal, but we're not. We're not created equal. Some people have cerebral palsy from birth, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so what they ended up doing is that, okay, so then they got this education, and then they started going after the kids. So now the kids are all fucked up, and they don't know what consent is. They don't know what an adult relationship is, or they were brought up by the internet, and so this used to be the same with people trying to explain away the reasons why their kids have problems, or why their child became a serial killer or a mass rapist or something like that. Oh, it was the television. You saw it on television. Oh, they learned about it in video games. So now we have to clamp down on that and put everybody into a Mormon garb, and nobody can have sex unless it's in front of the entire community. This is fucking loco la cabeza, I'm telling you. All right. It's just, I find this comedy of errors, right? Different influences, different players, and people trying to stop North American society from learning what it really is, and from young people from learning the crimes of other people in other societies in the world. And this is why veterans kill themselves. This is why they shoot themselves in the head. They fucking chop their balls off and start acting like a woman. It's because they're so fucked up. I can't believe I just fought for these people who wanted to commit a genocide. This flies in the face of everything that I was ever taught or I was ever told. The same with police officers or even some healthcare professionals. Or some people within education. Again, it was this rebellion of the liberal intelligentsia, right? And we gave a position of importance to a certain group of people who have a high concentration of schizophrenia. Okay, and I'm talking about like hardcore paranoid schizophrenia. 40% of their fucking population. And we let the crazies, have control of society because they kept telling us that we should. Enough of that shit. Obviously, we can see the consequences of that because EM got raped by 8 different men who thought it was okay to do so because they learned about it in pornography. Prove me wrong. Prove me fucking wrong. I'm telling you. Okay? The Marine Corps uses a hand. A 3D printed hand. Okay? They are not physically allowed to touch the recruits. So in order to discipline someone, they have to use this hand on a handle. Okay? To touch the person. You know how ridiculous that is? When we do things based out of paranoia and out of fear, you might as well chop off your nose to spite the face. Unfucking believable. I'm telling you. And I'm watching these interviews. And the basics, the very fucking basics of detective work. And one of these guys who was involved, looks up and to the left. Up and to the left. He's not trying to remember something. I'm telling you that much. Because if someone's trying to remember something, it's up and to the right. If I remember correctly. And then the physical body language of someone looking down to the left or the right is an expression of either shame, contempt, or remorse, right? Unfucking believable. I just and so what was done? What was done is exactly like this, okay? Because I'm friends with some very powerful people. I don't get in their way. I just wanted to be a fucking aircraft mechanic. I wanted to make art. But that was too much for some people. That was too much for some people. Unfucking believable. And so this straw man argument that was used, okay, unfucking believable. Oh, he had this pattern of behavior. He did this to other people. I can remember these stories that are uncontextual and not related to the crime at all. Oh, you set up this line of behavior of a person. Oh, he's going to become a serial killer. I'm telling you. He's going to start going around. Yeah. He's going to fucking rape little kids. So we got to arrest him. We got to stop him. That comes from the mouth of a faggot. And, you know, faggot was used offensively. And I'm using it offensively right now. In the same context as using nigger. Because it's an attitude. You act like a nigger, you're going to get treated like a nigger. You act like a faggot, you're going to get treated like a faggot. You act like a rapist, you're going to get treated like a rapist. Because that's what you are. You know, if I learned this from grassroots sports, okay? So fucking pee-wee hockey. If you want to start something, do it in your own backyard. Don't come to my backyard and start some shit just so that you can try and remove me from my place. But that's what they did. That's what they did, is they started constructing these straw man arguments against very powerful people in order to remove them from their position because they didn't have the skills, and what they had was jealousy and lust for power. And they weaponized it. They weaponized their coochies. And they started, you know, practicing political lesbianism because what they wanted to do was to free the subjugated of society from the confines of their hospital rooms. But they didn't seem to understand is that you can take a fish out of water, but you can't make it drink. Okay? Unfucking believable. I'm serious. This is a huge fuck up. It's a huge fuck up. A gigantic, colossal fuck up. And this is why the judge was telling me, and I don't remember his name right now, and he said, and I kept saying in video court, I deserve fair and due compensation. And he says I wouldn't do that. And there's a lot of people that are in these positions, they're trying to plug the holes in the sinking ship, right? Because people are retiring and they didn't make plans. And they were so arrogant and so stupid. Bombacha, huh? You didn't fucking know. You didn't fucking know. They start going around prosecuting anybody and everybody. As I said before, you know, if these men were guilty and they actually did the crime, they should do the time. That's one of the principles of our society, is that of justice, right? But you know, it's a lot easier to blame it on the fucking retard now, isn't it? Did you not watch True Detective? I'm thinking of this scene. It's just in the first season, or it says second season, which is of course the most, to a lot of people, is the most legendary season. I think there's highlights and there's really good moments in the other three. There's 4 seasons. Excuse me. That they investigate, the detectives, right? They'd investigate. They go to a church camp. And they examine a man that has some mental incapacitation. And the pastor says, "Oh, but he's sterile. He can't rape anybody." And so what they do is they take him out to the fields, right? And they pull his pants down just to see. Right? but they do it in such a way that's not insulting to the person, right? It's explicitly obvious. Oh, okay, now we can move on, right? And this is one of the problems, is because you can only deal with the puzzle and the pieces that you have to reconstruct that puzzle to get your Thomas Kincaid painting. If there's pieces missing, somebody gonna get hurt. Somebody gonna get hurt. Now, again, it's just an expectation and the consequences of the war of the sexes. And I'm going to put this video under the history of propaganda, the volume 6, having to do with, you know, the pornography of outrage, weaponized pornography, and how that in itself becomes propaganda. You know, this expression of liberal society, that you can do whatever you want with anyone that you want, however you want, as long as you have consent. But I gotta tell you, the devil works through consent. So that's a slippery slope thing, is humanity is not what we think it is. Humanity is seriously depraved. Seriously depraved. Okay? We have some really great moments in history, but we have far more moments of savagery. So, that being said, as a student of history and of philosophy and of many other of the applied arts, and maybe even the dark arts of espionage, that someone made a judgment call based upon spite and jealousy and insecurity and greed. And they took it upon themselves in their position of power to abuse someone else to stop them from reproducing. Because, oh, this person and their bloodline is they're gonna become Hitler or some stupid shit like that. Because they're anxious about their inability to reproduce because they don't have any desirable traits, right? They're not physically attractive. They're not intellectually accomplished. They don't have any hobbies. They're not physically capable of doing a push-up, right? They don't look after themselves, and they exploit other people. They exploit other people by manipulation. I said this in a video on Instagram, okay? Right? I have not ever committed an act of sexual assault. I have not ever raped a woman. I have not ever done something to a kid. And I hope that's enough for you. Because if it isn't, then you should be thrown in jail and go through what I did. Unfucking believable. All right, we're getting up to 40 minutes here. And, you know, these boys, they got to fess up. If they did something, they got to fess up, right? Because it's not about them anymore. It's not about them anymore. If the victim purposefully attempted to defame these hockey players, acting as a gold digger because, you know, someone was talking in her ear telling her that she should do this, then they should speak up too. They should speak up. They should fess up. They should come clean. Right? Don't blame the game. Right? Don't hate the game. Or what is it? Don't hate the player, hate the game. Because what was really trying to be done was to have control over the sexy time, right? Over public display of affection, where it was culturally acceptable, frankly. Again, if you're dancing with a woman, you're grinding up against her, and you're excited, and you can tell that each other's excited to have intimate contact on the dance floor in some of these bars, or to have consensual sexual interactions in the bathroom through a glory hole. Now, I don't know how you did it. I don't know if you snorted cocaine off of someone's penis. I really don't give a shit. Keep that stuff to yourself. Fuck's sakes. People are panicking in this moment in time, trying to cover up and blame other people. I mean, this has always been like this. This is the history of humanity. This is why the joke, the aristocrats, is so fucking funny, because they end up fucking each other and committing incest and acts of depravity just to be famous, or just to have street cred amongst their friends. Oh yeah, I made this huge drug bust. Look at me, look at me. Don't look over there. Don't look at the pile of bodies that are buried in my basement under a slab of cement. Unfucking believable, guys. Seriously. Y'all done fucked up. Fucking hockey players, I'm telling you. What further more do I have to say? Good God. Oh, man. And jealousy, I'm telling you. If you're jealous of someone else and you're insecure, why don't you go outside? Huh? How about that? How about you learn something for yourself and not for other people? How about you go and do something for yourself and not other people? So desperate to be wanted and needed, without actually providing anything to the community. You want to see a dead body? Why don't you ask the community? They'll take you right to it. That's all I'm going to say right now for all of this. You know, my heart goes out to the people that have to do this every single day. It really does. Once my troubles are over, they're over. Okay? Once I receive my compensation, it's over. It's over. Lessons learned, for sure. I surely hope you people really fucking figured it out. Because if I have to come and knock on people's doorsteps again, it's for a good damn reason. Okay, so we're at 43 minutes. Thank you for watching the History of Propaganda and tuning in. There's some subscribers that don't want me to know who they are, and that's fine. And there's some people that don't want to be subscribed to my channel because they're afraid or they're paranoid of the association or something like that. And that's fine. That's okay. You know, I got no problems with any of you. I don't even know you. But some of you do. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to speak up for other people. Because, as Kant's moral philosophy says, if someone is drowning and no one does anything about it, every single person present is guilty and accountable for that person's death. Servus non serventum.